fumble, obviously, in the half sack that he had. But what did he do? What was your assessment of how he played against the run?
Yeah, I thought he did a good job. He was physical at times, and for us and really for everybody on defense right now, it's just about building consistency, rep in and rep out, and being as dominant as we want to be in all of our matchups. And I thought he did a good job. Had a good start, and there's still things that we got to improve, not just with him, but with really everybody. But I thought he came out and did a good job and tried to be physical consistently.
What's your plan for replacing Nakobe Dean?
Huh?
What's your plan for replacing Nakobe Dean?
Yeah, we gotta we'll go with some of the guys that we've got up, and we feel really good about them. A lot of them have, like you guys have asked all camp, like we've been rotating guys and putting guys in different spots, and that's part of the reason. That's the NFL season, is guys get injured, and so you got to have plans in place, and we've done a good job through training camp to prepare different guys in different spots, and so we'll be able to roll that out there, and we feel good about the guys that we'll be able to put out.
Who will take green dot responsibilities?
I think we're going through that here in these next couple of days, and we had a good plan in the game too, where Christian Ellis became that green dot, and we've got some other guys that'll be able to do that. And so I think in these last couple of days, we'll kind of keep messing with those combinations, because the biggest thing is making sure the guy that has it, one, he and I have a rapport of how he hears the call and what I'm saying and the tips I'm giving on the headset, and then him being able to communicate that clearly in terms of the huddle call to the rest of the guys.
Does that always have to be a linebacker, or could someone like Green?
No, yeah, it could be anybody, and I don't know if you guys noticed, but I think Reed had it in the 2-minute there as well. So yeah, we're kind of open-minded to whoever it is.
Jalen Carter.
A handful of veterans on the topic of Jalen Carter were saying after the game that he was itching to get out there. Is that the sentiment that you felt, with the 6 pressures over 40 snaps?
Was Jalen itching to get out there, or the veterans? Oh. Yeah, I think we like to rush in waves and send a lot of guys out there. So I think all those guys are chomping at the bit to get out there, which is a really cool thing, as the coordinator, to have that mentality up there, and it's really fun to see those guys go out there. And he did a good job in his opportunities, and still, there's still ways for him to keep getting better and improving, and we're excited about that to keep growing him.
With James in the concussion protocol, very short week. Are you comfortable with Josh stepping in?
Oh yeah, I'm extremely confident and comfortable, and really all the guys that we've prepared out there, and Josh being one of them. He's had a really good camp, and we're looking forward to him doing well. And he did a great job in the situation that he was put in the game, and really he showed kind of his mentality and his approach, which is a thing that we really like about him.
Sean Desai, what's your view on traveling a cornerback to a specific wide receiver?
Yeah, I think we got to do what's best for our matchups and our players, and that gives us the best chance. That doesn't hurt us. We got to make sure it systematically fits, and so we've done it. I've done it in my history, and I think it's a good tool to have when you need it. And then I'm sure we'll do it throughout the season at different spots if and when we need to.
As a follow-up to that, Slay had a pretty good performance against Justin Jefferson last year. I guess as you prepare for that matchup, what did you see on that tape?
Yeah, I thought, obviously he did, and really the whole Eagles defense and the whole team played really well in that game. And so it's a credit to all those guys that were on that field. They really took to dominating their matchups and their one-on-one situations and winning in rush and coverage. And a lot of that stuff is going to carry over, in terms of our philosophy, what we want to do from a front perspective and disrupt things, and from a coverage perspective, win. We always talk about owning that hard hat, and to Slay's credit, he's done a bunch of that grunt work in the back end, and that always helps when you have a guy that wants that hard hat.
Sean, what are your big picture takeaways from your first game? What did you like? What areas need to be cleaned up? Yeah,
I think overall, obviously, you like that you got the win as a team, and I think that's always the number one most important thing, right? We play to win the game here, and so that was always the most important thing. And then, I thought our guys really fought hard, and through all the situation that they were in, and we had a little bit of adversity. We gave up some drives that we got to clean up, but they came back, and I think the resiliency and the toughness and the character of our squad really showed there, and each individual player, and they kept coming back, and they kept being physical, and that brand is kind of something that we don't want to get away from. And in terms of some techniques and fundamentals, that's part of our job, right? They wouldn't have me as a coach if we need to clean that stuff up. And so we're going to continue to detail some things and help our guys succeed even more in certain situations and with certain techniques and fundamentals, and we'll be better at that. We'll be better as a staff. I'll be better as a coordinator to put them in some situations there. But I thought the biggest thing was their toughness, their resiliency, and their desire to, like they're chomping at the bit to keep going. And that was really impressive by those guys.
Mac Jones
does as far as him earning that.
Oh, you gotta start that question over. I'm sorry.
As far as Justin Evans goes, what is it about him that allowed him to earn that start? What do you like about him? What did he do to put himself ahead of?
Yeah, I think it was been a constant battle, and I hope you guys don't take that as evasiveness throughout training camp, but it was day in and day out, and he kind of earned it. He set himself apart a little bit with his physicalness at the point of attack at some times that we saw obviously in practice and in some games. His length and his ability to cover guys was good, and he did a good job in the game. He took a lot of command to his side of the coverage of the things that require those safeties to do, and he did a good job communicating out there and stepping into that role.
Mac Jones completed nearly 80% of his passes in between the numbers for over 250 yards, 2 touchdowns. Did you see an issue there, and what was it?
Yeah, I think they had a good plan. They did a good job, and excuse me, some of our stuff, our coverages, we got to some answers that we need to get to take care of some of those middle of the field drops, and I think they were intentionally trying to attack that with the rain, not throw the ball outside the numbers, and so we were trying to make sure that we had enough depth in the defense where we got to improve there with some depth in the defense and rolling our coverages to certain front side of some routes to help us there. And we were tight on some, and they caught some good. They had some good catches, with some runaways and things like that. And so it's really about making sure that we're packing that middle of the defense when we need to, and having enough depth to when they try to throw over the top of us. And then really the other part of it is getting them off that first read. I think that's a big thing for us that you guys have heard me talk about. I think I don't know the exact numbers, so don't quote me on it, but I think he was out. He averaged under 2.5 seconds a throw, which is fast. That's fast, and so we got to get him off of that. We got to get him off that structurally. And when teams are trying to do that, there's different ways that we can do that because it buys that extra tick for our rush. And our guys, I was proud of our guys. They stuck with it in the rush and the coverage end of it.
Two more, please. Two more. As far as the depth at linebacker, you guys only kept 3, obviously, and now Nakobe's hurt. I mean, does that, how do you feel about the overall depth at linebacker and whether you guys may or may not have kept enough and all that?
Yeah, no, I feel really good. I think the plan that we had all along with Coach, with Howie, as we build this roster and depth, we're all in lockstep on it. And so I feel really good because we've had plans in place. We've always got plans. That's our job, right, is to make sure we've got contingency plans upon anything that can happen. And so even in that situation, we didn't miss a beat. We rotated right in. The green dot communication was great. We didn't miss a beat. And so we're going to continue with the plan that we've had.
Sean, with all the star power you guys have on the defensive line, Milton can sometimes get lost to outsiders. What has he done to distinguish himself?
Man, he was so physical. I think you saw that in the game, striking people, knocking people back at the point of attack. And that's a good edge and a toughness that he brings because he's so consistent with it. And then he can convert too, when it's the play pass and things like that when he's in there. And he adds a little bit of rush element to win on edges. So I think he falls right in line. But you're right, he does get lost, and he shouldn't because he's a physical player that we really like.